So today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where the Qing Dynasty comes back into the modern day. Now this dynasty, which lasted for a long time, collapsed back in 1911 or 1912. Japan may or may not have something to do with it, or eventually had something to do with it. And what if they came back today in the modern world? Now Qing is basically just China, except add Mongolia and a little bit of southern Russia over here in the east, and that's how you get it. It was fairly powerful, and then the opium stuff, and then, you know, it's collapsed. That was not fun and all, but hey, it's back, so we don't gotta worry about that. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leaving a like and subscribing lets me know you guys want to see more of this, like, what if Empire came back series, the German Empire video, or the German came back. Don't get it confused with the Empire series, but that video did really good. And I decided to do, you know, the Qing Dynasty. It's another pretty fun one. It's not too large, not too small. Has a lot of countries around it, so it has a lot of potential. But showing support lets me know that you guys want to continue to see this series, and that works with every single video. So just letting you know that if you didn't know that already. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the scenario. Also, the merch is going to be gone very soon. Make sure to go check it out in the description below. There's going to be a discount happening very soon. Not sure when. By next video. And if it isn't, then I'll just extend the deadline to where it's going to be cut off. But yeah. Video time. Check out the merch also. So the Qing Dynasty is back, and it is very strong as it inhabits all of modern day China, which is like the second strongest country, as well as Mongolia and southern Russia. Now those other two areas aren't necessarily the best of areas, but strategically they're great because now they have Sakhalin, which is over Japan, and this little piece of land over here from Russia, which is over North Korea. Not going to make much of a difference, but speaking of North Korea, that's where this expansion is going to be starting. So the Qing goes instant military mode and starts to invade North Korea, and everybody's pleased with this. There is literally no one's opposed. China is pretty much the only reason that North Korea exists in our modern day world, and you know, nobody really likes them because of what they're doing. But if the Qing were to invade them, I don't think anybody would be opposed. And that's exactly what they're doing, as North Korea feels baffled by this development. So baffled that their entire country forgets to fight, and all North Korea is captured by the Qing Dynasty. In this peace treaty, North Korea is completely annexed by the Qing, and that actually looks pretty cool on a map, not gonna lie. But instead of going right after South Korea next, they're instead going to go after another country which they hate, being Vietnam. Now Vietnam and China go way back. Like, they've always hated each other. Even now they hate each other. So China's gonna finally say, you know what, we're done with this rivalry. You are about to be me. So China declares war on Vietnam, and little did they know that's the biggest mistake of their life. At first it does pretty well, as it swarmed northern Vietnam. Eventually it starts to go not so well, as gains are little and manpower is not depleting, but it's being ran through. They capture strategic cities along the coast, but very slowly inch towards the south, and eventually they are stalemated out by the Vietnamese. What's the Qing Dynasty's solution to this? Why? Go through Laos, of course. So Qing troops start to go through Laos, and that goes well at first, and then eventually the same problem happens as they meet the jungles of these two countries, and they are unable to advance any further. Also, if I ever call Qing China, I apologize, because this is basically just like a Chinese empire, except it's not. It's the Qing Dynasty, but at the same time, they're really similar. So if I do call it the Chinese troops or the China, then just, you know, replace that with Qing. I'm not very smart. So yeah. All right. So as China is expanding into Southeast Asia, countries around the world are not looking so favorably at Qing anymore because they are invading neutral countries who had nothing to do with it. North Korea, they're a little haywire, but you know, that problem has been taken care of. Vietnam and Laos did nothing to deserve this. The United States isn't really happy about this because they are a trading partner with Vietnam. If half of you in America checked your clothes right now, your shirt specifically, I'd bet you that it's made in Vietnam. And do know that all major alliances in the world at this point have been disbanded, so there's no NATO, no EU, no UN. All the things that could hold back the Qing Dynasty have been eliminated. That's how it is with pretty much all of my videos, unless it's specifically like centered around an alliance. Speaking of alliance, by the time you're seeing this, Finland is probably about to become a NATO member, which is pretty cool. I'll probably make a video on that isn't a main video, because next Wednesday is going to be alternative future, because that video that I posted last Wednesday did super good. I told you guys if you were to show a lot of support on the series that they would, you know, come out more frequently. And that video surpassed like maybe my past 3 videos in likes, and it's like not even a day old at this point. Just a little fun fact. Okay, anyway, war. We need to go war because war is good. War is not good, but war is fun to watch. China is struggling here, and eventually they are just going to completely leave and just, you know, they're going to hold a front line, of course, but they're not going to do much else. Instead, let's invade Kyrgyzstan. Now, what did Kyrgyzstan do to deserve this? Absolutely nothing. But hey, there goes the Qing Dynasty anyway. Is this actually invadable? No, but they did it anyway. And now Kyrgyzstan is about to become Qing. Qingese? Qing? Is it just Qing? I don't know. I should probably stop. Alrighty, China, nope. Qing is now expanding across Central Asia, and a lot of countries around the Qing Dynasty are going to start getting a little bit worried about their existence in the near future. Specifically India and South Korea, as well as Japan. They're all kind of like skeptical of this. And you know what? The United States is as well, and they're not liking this. Now, the funny thing is, the Quad Alliance exists, which is an alliance between the United States, India, South Korea, and Japan in real life. Actually, excuse me, no, South Korea isn't in it, but Australia is. But we're gonna form a new Quad, except it's gonna be with South Korea instead of Australia. These guys are gonna be in an alliance together, and if China attacks any of them, then they will retaliate against the Qing. I just called it China again. See, look, I'm stupid. The Qing will take note of this, and they are not going to invade these guys because at this point in time, they had no interest in doing so. They're more interested in invading countries like Tajikistan, who have absolutely no chance against them. As I said, absolutely no chance against them. Alright, so now let's say it's been a couple of months. The Qing Dynasty hasn't expanded in a while. The world has kind of relaxed a little bit. The Quad Alliance isn't as on guard as it once was, but the Qing Dynasty wants to expand more. Except it can't really go towards Central Asia anymore because they would kind of be overreaching at that point. If they took all of Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, or wait, no. If they were to take all of Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, that would look very strange. They could take Kazakhstan, but this is too much land to hold on to. It's not tall enough. It's too wide. They could pull a Mongol Empire here, but just like the Mongol Empire collapsed, they would not last very long. So instead of expanding east, they're going to start to expand south. Except the problem is, they haven't been able to do that in a couple of months. So what is the Qing Dynasty solution? Is it napalm? No, that's an American thing to do. It's to invade Myanmar. Poor Myanmar, man. They never get a break in these videos. Like, I don't think I've ever been nice to Myanmar in any of my videos ever posted. Can we get a hashtag love for Myanmar in the comments or something like that? I don't know. I just feel bad. And yeah, they're gonna get absolutely squashed here because honestly, they aren't that strong. They can't really do anything. India is really pissed off at this point. They're like, yo, what the frick, man? Stop that. They're trying to activate the Quad. The Quad's like, hey, Myanmar wasn't a part of the Quad, so technically you can't activate it. India is angry. It's not a very good thing when India is angry because it tends to kind of affect others around it, like Pakistan. And when that happens, you get yourself a war. And both of these countries have nukes, so you get yourself a nuclear war. And nuclear war, in case you didn't know, is not good for humanity. All right, let's look at this Myanmar peace treaty here. Tough. That's very tough. So the Qing, they're really just kind of taking everything. They're not really making any puppet states. They're fully annexing these regions and showing no remorse. So that's not a good recipe for success in the future, but the Qing isn't really worried about the future because they have just been brought back from the past. So worst case scenario, they just get brought back again, right? But yeah, full annexation, assimilation, and there might be some executions here and there. But with this, the Qing are finally going to do their final little conquest over here in Southeast Asia by declaring war on Thailand and Cambodia. Qing troops are quick to move out from the tail of Myanmar. Call it the tail. I guess you can call it a panhandle, but it doesn't make much sense, so I just call it the tail. They push out from there in large numbers, which Thailand is unable to stop. We also see the push into northern Thailand. And finally, after a lot of napalm, I mean trying, they get past the front lines of Vietnam, pushed out the Lao Indians. Oh god, the Laois? What is it? Anyway, Vietnam falls, Cambodia falls, and finally Bangkok is captured, leading to the surrender of Thailand. And now we can look at a peace treaty with all of these Southeast Asian countries. All right, looking at this peace treaty here, we can see that a majority of Southeast Asia is annexed by the Qing Dynasty, and they now span all the way down here from Malaysia, all the way up here to basically Siberia. Well, that is Siberia. So from Malaysia to Siberia, and from Sakhalin all the way over to Uzbekistan. This is a very large country, and it's definitely overtaken the US by now. So I don't know about Canada because Canada is huge. It's either the third or second largest country. I don't think they've passed Russia yet, but they're getting there. They really are. So this sad little ball of countries down here is going to unite together into Siam. Why Siam? Because I don't know what else to call this region other than just Southeast Asia. So Siam it is, and Siam is sad. Next, we have the Qing Dynasty sending a quick little ultimatum over to Malaysia in order to take over this half of that country. Singapore is very, very peacefully annexed, and now they reach from Indonesia to Siberia. Very large. So the Qing Dynasty has a set plan. What they want to do is not really invade up north towards Russia because this land is pretty useless. They're not really looking to invade into Kazakhstan, and they are kind of looking to expand into this region, specifically this area, not all of India, into Kashmir, and they're going to ignore Pakistan because they have an alliance with them that nobody knows about. Not only there, but they're also looking to invade over here to South Korea and even Japan. Other countries they have interest in but have no plan to invade include the rest of Siam and the Philippines, and a bunch of these island nations out here in the Pacific. So with that in mind, we have China invading and annexing all of Bhutan. Don't ask me how they did it. Bangladesh turns Qing, and this is going to set India off because not only have they just like taken Bhutan, but they've also just taken Bangladesh, and they are very close from being cut off from their own country. So after another invasion into another country, this time Nepal, India finally activates a Quad in fear of its own life. Now, this is a defensive alliance, but in this scenario, if you wait any longer, you will not be able to even win, even if you could before. So the Qing Dynasty is now at war with India, South Korea, Japan, and the United States of America. Quick to join this war on the side of the Qing Dynasty is Pakistan and surprisingly Afghanistan. We also see Iran get involved, but none of the other Middle Eastern countries are interested. And it's going to be these guys versus these guys. Quad versus Quad. That's right, the Qing Dynasty was very creative with their name of their alliance, and they basically just copied the other Quad's alliance name. All right, wartime. Remember how I said earlier that India was close from losing this other half of its country due to this? Well, that just happened. India loses pretty much all of its connection to this little eastern half over here, and the Qing Dynasty is quick to completely take it. Following this is a small invasion into this part of India, but they don't dare go any further because it's really not of any of their interest. We see India invade out and into Pakistan, threatening the country and of course its capital of Islamabad. China isn't too focused on helping their allies. They basically just told them to get it together and do it themselves. Instead, China is going to go after South Korea, and South Korea falls really quickly. Like, South Korea is like, I think the power rankings of the world got updated recently. Of course, it's still USA, Russia, China. But after that, I think it changed a lot. I think South Korea might be the 8th now. They were the 5th before, but I'm not sure. I have to check. That doesn't matter, though. They're still a super strong country. They won't fall as quickly, but for the sake of this video, they do. So Pakistan is kind of struggling at this point, and Iran is finally sending its troops over, as well as Afghanistan. And they are going to be able to push back India here, if I can select the right color there. And they push back India in the more important areas, so near Islamabad, basically. At this point, China has found itself in southern Japan, which is not good if you're Japanese. They're going to invade a few of these islands here, but are going to eventually get stopped by the Japanese and the Americans. They're going to invade a little bit further into India from over here. We have India getting pushed out of Kashmir as well as their southern area, and the Qing and the Pakistanis enter into northern India. The Qing Dynasty has what it wants, and the blue team isn't going to be able to push them back as much as they'd like. So what are they going to do here? They don't want to fight this war. Nobody wants to fight this war except for maybe the Qing, but yeah, Iran, Afghanistan, and Pakistan are all like, this isn't going to benefit us at all. And the United States is like, why are we doing this? This isn't our interest. I mean, it kind of is because the trading partners are in danger. But at this point, the US public is not in favor of this. And the main reason for that is that the blue team simply just doesn't have the capabilities at this point to overthrow the Qing Dynasty and its allies. And the same can be said for the Qing. They don't have the resources or capability to take out all of India and the United States. So instead of looking for allies, they're going to draw up a quick little peace treaty here. That's not going to be all that the Qing want, but they are going to get a little bit of it. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they draft up. All right, looking at this treaty here, it's pretty simple. We have the Qing Dynasty getting all of India's land over here. And also we have a new kind of dispute being created and fixed at the same time in Kaliningrad. So the Kashmir issue has not been solved, but it has been at the same time. Basically, they don't recognize this fully. India and Pakistan have some problems with it. The Qing Dynasty doesn't care because their claim, which was over this part of India, has been solved. But India and Pakistan, they're not the biggest of fans of this, but at the same time, it's better than it was. But then again, it kind of isn't. So yeah, this is what the UN recognizes though. But the UN doesn't exist. So this is what I recognize. And South Korea no longer exists, unfortunately. So the Qing Dynasty has made itself very big, very large indeed. They, at this point, are probably stronger than the United States. They're definitely stronger than Russia in terms of military and economy, of course. So yeah, would this dynasty continue to expand? It could if it wanted to. Realistically, no, it would collapse. At this point, it would already collapse into like a bajillion other countries. So don't worry, if the Qing Dynasty does come back, you don't gotta worry about it. It will kill itself before it kills you. And that's actually gonna do it for today's video. So if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to this channel if you're new. Did you know that subscribing is cool? I didn't know that until I subscribed. And then I was like, you know what? That's pretty cool. So all the support is greatly appreciated. Make sure to check out the merch once again. It's going away very soon. And yeah, When are you seeing this video? You're seeing this on April Fool's Day. I did not make an April Fool's video. I feel stupid now. Maybe I'll whip something up before then. Oh, I have an idea. You're seeing this video on Sunday. That's hilarious because I totally said you're seeing this on Saturday. Isn't that funny? I'm so funny. Goodbye. Here's the members, of course. Thank you to all the super fans. This includes Yo Moma, Texan Cowboy Cheese, Kylie Speaks Plays, Maddox Score, Poland Country Ball, Dimitri, Yakko, Nevada Garbage Trucks, DW Cool Dude, All About Military, Soviet Ball, and Serminator. Once again, thank you guys.